Hey everybody, it's Carol Billing. I'm your instructor for education. No, I'm your I am your instructor for Study Skills 101 online. You're my only class of Study Skills 101, so you're special. So let's take a look at the syllabus. Do you need to print the syllabus? Not necessarily. It's just well, it's only 6 pages, but really, if you read through it one time, let me know if you have questions on anything. Otherwise, I just keep an electronic copy of it, or I would actually just refer to it in the Blackboard if you need to see anything, because it's all pretty standard. What's most important here is I have the Zoom meeting code here. So to visit with me on Zoom, which is a free webcasting, web-based tool that I use, you would just put in that meeting code. So I'd probably jot down that meeting code somewhere around my desk so I could access that. Make sure if you do Facebook, add my Facebook page. A lot of what I post is for education majors because my full-time teaching position is for the teaching of the education program. However, I do post other information that might be interesting for you to see. My office is in the L-shaped one-story Nampa campus at the Aspen classroom. So that is not either one of the 2 stories. It's not where the library is. It's the one-story L-shaped on the corner. I'm in there. Behind the security desk is the faculty offices, and I'm in there. And then my office hours are listed there. And one thing I recommend with office hours is sometimes it's hard to actually physically come. If you want to send me an email that gives me your phone number, I will just call you during my office hour, and that way we can talk about whatever's going on, or we could Zoom if we need to look at something together. So sometimes that's easier than coming in if you don't already have a class here. And you can, of course, you can call me at my office hour, and if you can remember to call. There's such weird little short times. Personally, I have a hard time remembering to call my professors at their office hours. It's much easier for me to send an email with my phone number. All right, let's get into the bulk of the class. Going down here, sorry for the long you can read all of these specific points. I'm just going to go through the highlighted points. You need the book, which looks like this, and you need the access code to my Study Skills Lab. So you do need both of those, and we are going to use those, and you're required to use them. Okay, so I would recommend going to the bookstore and getting this bundled highlighted version. That should give you both the code and the book. Okay. If you get a used book, because I know a lot of people will pass them around, that's great. I love sharing books because textbooks are ridiculously expensive. You still need to make sure you go online and buy the code through Pearson. All right. If you have a My Math Lab and then now you're going to be adding this other My Study Skills Lab, it might be worth your time to pop into the tutoring center and ask a tutor if they know how to log in and add those, because I know when I taught this class face-to-face, there was some confusion about how you did that, because I think you use the same Pearson account, but then you add the My Study Skills. And I'll be completely honest, I don't know the ins and outs of it, and it changes every semester. But I think the tutoring center is going to be your best bet for that if you already have a My Math Lab and you can't figure it out, like it's not intuitive to you. I wouldn't know for sure if it would be intuitive, because sometimes it's just confusing. Okay, so this online version of this class I have not taught for a couple of years. I taught this Study Skills class last spring, so I'm very familiar with the content, but I haven't taught it fully online for a couple of years. I talked to another faculty who taught it online last semester, and I got her her outline of her course, which I liked, but I'm not 100% sure that there isn't too much work. So I'm in the process of evaluating that. Right now I do have a midterm and a final, but I reserve the right to cancel the midterm because I'm not really a fan of midterms. more interested in project-based learning, like I like for you to do stuff and show me that you've learned something by doing it, not necessarily by multiple choice. I'm not a fan of multiple choice. It's probably because I don't take the multiple choice test well. But anyway, if you're not a good multiple choice test taker, I'm probably a good instructor for you to take from, because I'm more about like, let's make a e-portfolio, and let's demonstrate knowledge that way. So I think that relates a lot more closely to how we have to perform in our jobs, which that's the whole point of going to college, right? To get a job, to make a better income and a better life. So I want to teach you skills that are transferable. That's a big thing with me, is being realistic about tests, because I don't know a lot of employers that give you a Monday morning quiz. I mean, I'm sure there's a few, but most not. All right, so as it is now, there's 15 study skills path modules. I reserve the right to change that, because it seems like a lot. There's some discussion boards. I'm not a fan of discussion boards. I might cancel those. Reflective journals. I am a fan of reflective journals. Oh my God. Yeah, I know. I love, I think when you write, you really think more critically about whatever it is you're writing about. I also like Venn diagrams, which are like, I know I have a couple of flowchart type handout thingies that I want you to fill out. So those I would embed those in the journal. So I would have you like do the handout and then write a little bit reflective about the handout in a journal. That's probably going to be more of what this class ends up being about, rather than discussion boards. And well, I'll look at the My Study Skills modules. We will use some, but I don't know that we'll use 15. Okay, and I'll change the syllabus, and I'll have this all together within the first week. Final project, yes. It says right here, multimedia presentation, highlighting a study skill. I don't know, maybe. I reserve the right to change that. I have had students do an e-portfolio in the past, and I think it's much better, and it's something you can show a potential employer, so I'm kind of more interested in doing that. The extra credit is correct on here. 5 points for attending a college-sponsored workshop, writing lab, or tutoring center workshops, seminars, those things. I also will post an announcement about going to see a professor. If you go to see a professor during your office hours, you can earn extra credit for that. And then the eval at the end. Okay. Verification for financial aid. Do what's on the calendar. It's kind of straightforward. Please don't ask me to open past links. It's not fair to the people that get it done on time. Here's my late work policy if there's a crisis. And then grading policy is very straightforward. I think most instructors use the same percentage. So that's, I don't weight anything. It's going to be a straight percentage. But I don't do points either, because my points are funky. I don't make like perfectly 10-point quizzes. Like sometimes I have an 11-point quiz, and sometimes I have a 13-point quiz. I quiz you on content, not to fit in a 10-point box. Okay, here's the information on my office hours and contacting me, and assignments. I'm going to talk about that when we go over the course calendar. And I believe that is it. Okay, so you could always review this if you have trouble sleeping, and you probably fall right asleep. Otherwise, I've kind of hit the main points I believe. Let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you watch the video on the course calendar. Okay.